Jacob.
Going for a drive. ...2019 Porsche 911.
Speedster with launch control.
Oh!
Yes, 9,000.
Okay, horsepower and torque.
502 horsepower, 346 pound-feet of torque from a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6 engine. We know a lot of you guys are watching without subscribing. Just do us a favor so we get more cool cars like this one. Subscribe, hit the bell. You already hit 9,000 for the people. Oh, I'm done.
Now you have to subscribe.
I'm done.
So why is this so special? What does Speedster mean?
Speedster is from the original 356, which was born in 1948. So this is a limited edition. Only 1948 of them are available worldwide.
Okay, and what number are we? We are
715.
And this is pretty much just a GT3 with a manual transmission.
Pretty much, and we're obviously missing a roof.
Yes, and it does have a top that goes up and down, but you should really never drive with it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what makes a Speedster is that you leave this in Speedster mode all the time.
And we've never driven a GT3 with a manual transmission yet, so it's a first for us.
Yeah, and this transmission is incredible, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Blip shift down to second.
Auto blip.
That's what I meant. Auto blip. So this does have rev matching with a button, and like getting to 9,000 is the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, so there are no actual drive modes like on the steering wheel, because we do have the GT steering wheel, but we do have a separate auto blip, which is the best feature ever.
Okay, so back to Speedster stuff. There have been multiple Speedsters. There's like one from the 80s. I think there's one from 2011. There's a whole bunch of these, so it's cool that they keep bringing them out.
Yeah, so this is the final version. This is the final model of the 991.2.
Because the 992 is already out,
That's
so there's
right.
like an overlap of both 911s.
Yeah, so this is extra special. So it was developed by Porsche Motorsports, the same people that do all of the GT cars, so this was built and designed by those people.
Yeah, and it feels just like a GT3.
It really does, but I think they softened up certain things.
So we're obviously gonna rip it some more, but I wanna really get into the looks because it's got that cool hunchback look, which makes it so amazing.
Yeah, it's so unique, and there's also the Boxster Spyder, which kind of looks like this, but this is its own thing.
And then you've also kind of got like two bubbles behind the driver and the passenger.
And that is a characteristic of the Speedster.
I'm gonna cliche corner a little bit.
Go for it. Oh, that sound.
This is amazing, but it is very tail happy.
It is very tail happy, but it's also very controllable, just like every other GT Porsche.
But when you're going faster on the highway, the spoiler will go up, and I think it kind of ruins the look of the Speedster, but you can make it go back down with the click of a button.
Yeah, I agree. Spoiler up, I don't like it. Spoiler down looks fantastic.
Yeah, from behind mostly. From the side, it's like more doable with the spoiler up. And then it's got a top as well.
Yes, it does, which is obviously manually operated.
So you actually have to like click the button. It'll do a few things, but you got to get out, move stuff around. So it's like you really need to work.
And that whole piece is all carbon fiber, and I believe it's the biggest carbon fiber piece Porsche has ever made.
My favorite part about that top is when you click the button, the little edges kind of release like Batman horns or whatever.
And then you see Speedster.
Yeah, so it's like not a Speedster unless the top is back.
Which is kind of true. I mean, the concept, I don't even think it had a roof, so they actually had to add one for production.
Then we have our Speedster badge in gold, which looks so luxurious.
It's so classic too.
And the rest of it pretty much just looks GT3.
Kind of, the rear bumper is unique to this, but the GT3 exhaust kind of carries through dead center.
And then right in the front, like we have a frunk, obviously, same amount of room as the GT3 pretty much. And then at the front, we've got the same GT3 style grille where it kind of comes down on an angle.
And the frunk is all carbon fiber, and then the fenders are also all carbon fiber.
But we don't have NACA ducts in this. I guess they want this one to look more classy.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know what else they have in the trunk?
What's that?
They've got a Speedster bag. Like, I wasn't gonna open it, but man, I want that so bad.
Yeah, that's a pretty fancy looking bag. And then if we move around to the side, we got really nice GT3 wheels. They are obviously center locks.
And then we've got carbon ceramic brakes.
Which comes standard.
And what is the Continental recommended tire for the 911 Speedster?
The Conti Sport Contact 6.
And by the way, winter tire season's coming up. So if you're gonna be driving in a place with snow, make sure you get your winter tires on as soon as possible.
Do it.
And what do you think of the silver color?
I'm not a big fan of it, but you know, Silver is very classy.
Man, they have a red, and I think that looks absolutely amazing, but there's a sticker package.
Yeah, so this has the Heritage Design package, but then whoever optioned this, deleted the decals.
And how much did that option package cost?
$28,000.
And how much did the delete cost?
Zero.
Oh, that's good. Good value.
Yeah, exactly.
But you needed to get that package to get some interior bits, which we'll talk about later.
And there's a lot of unique stuff to the Speedster, which I want to get into, starting with the looks of just the windshield, which was lowered 2 inches, I believe.
Okay, let's get you into the driver's seat to talk about that.
I'm obviously going to launch it first. Notice that? Flat foot shifting. Yeah, you leave your foot on the gas the whole time and you just shift. So the GT3 that we reviewed did not have it because it was a PDK.
Okay, run me to 9,000, but do not say anything.
Let me just auto blip into second. Oh my God, yes. I love 9,000 RPM.
This is actually like one of my favorites. I know I say that all the time, but like this for real.
I think 9,000 is my favorite RPM. It's straight up amazing.
Until you get into an F1 car or something.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about this engine. So it is a 4-liter naturally aspirated flat 6, and it is different than the GT3 engine because it has individual throttle bodies. So that is supposed to give you better response, and I think it changes the tone a little bit, and I like what they did with it. However, the experience is just so fantastic with no roof.
Yeah, and like once you look at it, you know what you're in. You know you've got that big hunchback, so you know everyone's like, that's not a normal 911.
But if you look from the front, it's like, what is that?
Yeah, exactly.
A silver Porsche?
Convertible GT3?
Yeah, and then if you, which you shouldn't, drive with the top up, it just looks like a Boxster.
yeah, it looks super weird.
Yeah. And yes, this is a 6-speed manual, and you cannot get this with a PDK. So I have turned off the auto blip feature, and I found it a little bit more difficult to rev match because you have to like hold it for like a split second longer than you think.
Yeah, you gotta almost have to stay on the gas because the RPMs just drop so quickly.
So I think it's because of the individual throttle body. So watch this. There, see, it does like a double blip. It sounds really cool, but you just gotta remember.
Everything about this is so awesome. And like the heel toe position, the pedals, it's so good.
Everything is amazing.
And I know we say so good a lot, but like, look what we're driving.
Exactly. Should I say exquisite? Is that better?
It's so, get the thesaurus out and that way we'll be better.
I think exquisite is gonna be the word for today's video.
Oh, exquisite.
And this manual transmission is so perfect. It's so notchy. You know exactly where every gear is. I haven't had a single issue with it.
I really like the way it looks, like all matte black with the gold, like.
I know, this is just such a classy car. Okay, so let me get into that lightweight stuff, which I got carried away with everything else. So this does obviously have the fabric top. So the 6-speed manual also saves weight over the 7-speed, and you cannot get a PDK in here either. Air conditioning is also deleted to save weight, but as a $0 option, you can add it, so this one has it. And then the navigation is also deleted, so this one was added back.
So when you order it, which you can't.
Yeah, because there's 1948 of them and you can't get one.
I don't even know how you could get one. I think you probably have to have a couple Speedsters before.
Yeah, considering how exclusive GT3s are and GT2 RSs, like this is even more exclusive.
I would take this car over like an Huracan, no problem.
I think this is my favorite convertible because I'm not a convertible guy, but this is just, I love it.
I'm a convertible guy.
Yeah, you are. And I already mentioned all the other carbon fiber on the outside. We do have lightweight door pulls on the inside, and the final lightweight item would be the exhaust. So it's actually lighter than the GT3 exhaust, even though it has the new particulate filters. So it's around 100 pounds heavier than a GT3, which is pretty impressive.
Do these carbon seats help make it lighter as well?
I believe they do.
Okay, and we got back problems right now.
Yeah, both of us.
It's really hard.
Yeah, so I would not fault anyone for getting the regular seats, which are a $0 option.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how this handles. We do have a sport mode for the suspension, and honestly, I don't think you need it, but when you turn it on, it's equally good and it's not that stiff, so it's totally fine to just drive it daily.
But it's not as confident, like slightly less than the GT3 RS or the GT3, I think.
I think this is equivalent for me, but I think that's exactly where they softened it up. So I think that overall the suspension is a little bit softer than the GT3.
And it'll like kick out a little bit more all the time.
Yeah, exactly. And then we also have our ESC off and our ESC plus traction off, which are amazing buttons to have.
But we don't need to use them because Porsche has the best traction control system.
Yeah, so even with everything on, it lets you get pretty sideways. So time to test the suspension into cliche corner. I'm gonna turn on my exhaust, leave my auto blipping on and sport mode, and let's send. This is so good. Oh, I love this. So much confidence, so flat, and obviously so direct because it's, you know, every car is direct. No, honestly though, the steering is not weird. It doesn't do anything weird. Like, that's the pinnacle of steering these days, is not feeling weird.
Yeah, like nothing feels weird about this at all, which is insane for how cool it looks.
Yeah, so like your on-center feel or whatever you want to say, everything is normal. And like you said, it is fairly tail happy, but it's so controllable, so there's no issues even with everything on. And this does have rear steering as well, and we obviously have a limited slip differential.
Okay, so let's move into the interior because it's so nice in here.
It is beautiful in here.
So we've got beige everywhere inside, and I think that comes with the decals.
Yeah, the heritage package.
And then we've got the same beige line on the steering wheel, which is awesome. And then everything is like matted out. I've never seen a GT steering wheel with matte black on it. I love it.
Yeah, because they always have a little bit of aluminum.
And then the gauges, it's black with what looks like glow in the dark.
Yeah, so it's green, which is a throwback to the 356, which was the original Porsche.
I think that I like just as much as with the normal orange needle.
Yeah, that's fair. But we also have white needles on these.
And then we got cool silver trim with gold Speedster emblems on it as well. And then we've got hard buttons for all our stuff, no piano black yet. We've got like a tuning knob, a volume knob, the old infotainment. So we have Apple CarPlay, we still don't have Android Auto.
Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna get it in this generation.
Yeah, that's fine, maybe an update.
Yeah, maybe.
And then where our Speedster badge is, we can open that up. It will fit a small cup of coffee, we know
Obviously,
that.
yeah.
Visor test, 3, 2, 1.
That's a total fail.
Supercar pass?
I don't think so. This isn't a supercar.
But I still really like it.
Speedster pass?
It
No.
may be the most supercar that you can buy with a manual transmission.
Maybe.
Title of our video.
No.
And then these buckets don't have a carbon fiber pattern on them. They've got silver, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think again that's part of the heritage package.
Then they only go forward and back, and with the electronic button, they'll go up and down. But
And-
we would both prefer the more comfortable seats.
Yes, we would with our old man backs right now. And then if we look right behind us, we got our Porsche 70 years, because that was when this was kind of conceived, because this is a 2019.
And then having the back go up so high looks so cool. It just feels so beefy.
And we also have a very big blind spot because of that, but who cares?
We've also got a little net on the side so we can put our cell phone there, which is great.
Part of the lightweightness.
And then we've got tons of storage behind our buckets, but I don't even know if you could get anything in there because, like, you know, going around the seat, but there's a lot of room, which is super cool.
Yeah, because the buckets don't fold at all. And obviously because this is a 911, the driving position is absolutely perfect.
Oh my goodness, yes it is. If my back felt better, I think I could live with these seats.
Same here. So if you have a good back, get these seats.
Or a
If
good
you don't-
chiropractor.
Yeah, exactly. But if you don't, just get the regular seats.
So even though anybody watching can't buy this, and if they have one, they already got it, how much does this cost?
Well, Yuri, this is $312,600 to start.
Canadian?
And this one is sitting at $351,370.
That's actually a steal, even though you can't get one.
That is so much money. That is double the price of a GT3, which this is based on.
Okay, how about this compared to an Huracan Perfomante Spyder?
I think the Huracan would be faster, but this is kind of more special.
This is cooler and it's manual, and I would take this if I had the opportunity to, without a question.
I honestly don't really have an answer for you right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That V10, man. 9,000 is special, but V10s are also pretty special.
So let us know in the comments below what you'd want. A manual transmission in 9,000 or V10 and paddles.
That's a good one. I want to hear from you people. Subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Patreon.com/TheStraightPipes. Join our YouTube membership and Teespring for cool shirts.
Which I'm not wearing right now. You know what? I thought about it a little bit more. I would take this. This manual is so good.
Isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, you can't say so good, you mean exquisite.
Exquisite. You're right.